Does this sound familiar? You check your account balance and bam, it's lower than you thought. You had a plan, but somehow your money just vanished. It's not your fault. Most budgets are designed to fail because they're boring, and let's face it, but today we're flipping the script. By the end of this video, you'll know how to create a budget that's not only effective, but actually makes you excited to stick to it. Sound impossible? Stick around, because you're about to take control of your finances like never before. Before we even talk numbers, let's zoom out for a second. Why do you want a budget? Is it to travel more, buy your first home, or finally get rid of that anxiety when the credit card bill arrives? Defining your why gives your budget purpose. Without it, you'll give up at the first temptation. Write it down, visualize it, and make it real. Remember, your budget isn't just a spreadsheet. It's a map to the life you've always dreamed of. Okay, quick question. Have you ever tried budgeting just to realize you hate spreadsheets? Yeah, same. Let's make this less painful. Here's the harsh truth. You can't fix what you don't measure. For 1 month, track every single dollar you spend. Yes, even that $6 latte or that late-night Taco Bell run. Why? Because it's the small, forgotten expenses that drain your budget. Use apps like Mint, YNAB, or even a simple notes app to log it all. This step isn't about judging yourself. It's about facing the reality of where your money goes. And trust me, you'll be shocked. But this shock is the wake-up call you need to take back control. Once you know where your money is going, you can start deciding where it should go, and that's where the magic happens. Now that you've tracked your spending, it's time to sort it into categories. Think: rent, food, transportation, savings, and yes, fun money. This step shows you exactly where your priorities are and where they should be. If you're spending more on takeout than saving for your goals, it's time for a realignment. Pro tip: divide your spending into needs, wants, and future. This not only simplifies your budget, but makes it crystal clear where adjustments are needed. Okay, you've got the categories, but how do you make sure you're not overspending in them? That's where the next step comes in. Here's where most people mess up. They set limits that are way too tight. You can't go from spending $500 a month on dining out to $50 and expect it to work. Instead, set realistic limits based on your current habits and gradually tighten them over time. This isn't about deprivation, it's about balance. Leave room for your Starbucks habit and your savings. That way your budget feels sustainable instead of suffocating. Quick reality check. Have you ever tried to cut out all unnecessary expenses only to binge shop a week later? Yeah, same. That's why we budget smarter, not harder. Let's make one thing clear. If you wait until the end of the month to save, you'll never save. The solution? Pay yourself first. Set up automatic transfers to a high-yield savings account or investment account the moment your paycheck hits. Think of it as a non-negotiable bill. This way you're saving without even thinking about it. And the best part? Watching your savings grow will keep you motivated to stick to your budget. But what happens if an unexpected expense pops up and throws your budget off course? Don't worry, we're tackling that next. Life is unpredictable. Your car breaks down, your phone shatters, or you get hit with a surprise medical bill. Without an emergency fund, these moments can derail everything. Aim to save 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a separate account. Start small. Even $500 can make a huge difference. This isn't just about financial security, it's about peace of mind. Knowing you're prepared for the unexpected makes it easier to stay on track with your long-term goals. Okay, you've got the emergency fund. But what about the daily temptations that threaten to blow your budget? Let's talk strategy. Here's a foolproof framework to guide your spending. The 50-30-20 rule. Allocate 50% of your income to needs. Think rent, utilities, and groceries. Then 30% goes to wants like eating out, hobbies, or that Netflix subscription. Finally, 20% goes to savings and debt repayment. This rule is flexible, easy to follow, and keeps you from feeling overly restricted. Plus, it builds in guilt-free spending money, which is key to sticking to your plan. Wait, does this mean you can still buy avocado toast and budget? Absolutely. Let's bust that myth right now. Your budget isn't set in stone, it's a living document. At the end of each month, review how you did. Did you overspend in one category? Did you underestimate another? Adjust accordingly. Life changes. Your budget should too. The goal is progress, not perfection. And don't forget to celebrate small wins. Stuck to your grocery budget for the first time? Treat yourself to something nice. These moments keep you motivated for the long haul. But what if you're not naturally good with money? What if you feel overwhelmed every time you try to budget? Don't worry, we've got one more strategy to make this effortless. If budgeting feels overwhelming, let technology do the heavy lifting. Apps like Mint, EveryDollar, and YNAB simplify the process by tracking your spending, setting limits, and even sending alerts when you're close to overspending. These tools make budgeting less of a chore and more of a habit. And the best part? They turn your finances into a game, one where you're winning. Trust me, once you start seeing those progress graphs go up, you'll never look back. All right, we've covered the nuts and bolts of creating a budget that works. But there's one final piece of advice you can't afford to miss. The key to a successful budget isn't perfection, it's consistency. There will be months where you slip up, and that's okay. What matters is getting back on track. Keep your why front and center. Whether it's becoming debt-free, saving for a dream vacation, or building wealth, remind yourself of the life you're working toward. Your budget isn't a restriction, it's a tool for freedom, and every step you take brings you closer to the financial future you deserve. Now that you know how to create a budget that actually works, it's time to take the next step. If you're looking for ways to boost your income without any upfront investment, click here to watch my video on great ways to make money without investment. Don't stop now. Your journey to financial freedom is just getting started. See you there.